guy's got a hole in his head. Actually, he's got several. Surfer Shannon Ainsley survived an attack by not one, but two great white sharks. Ripley's captures his frightening fight for life. A tragic accident cost this poor pooch his two right legs. But that didn't keep the gutsy greyhound from becoming the fastest dog on the block. The women in this town wait 364 days for one chance. A chance to beat their husbands to a pulp.
Very strongly they hit.
The future of medical photography is here. A microscopic camera in the form of a pill. Open wide as Ripley's takes you on a fantastic voyage inside the human body. Unbelievable? Believe it on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This is Ripley's, the home of the unconventional and truly unbelievable. This first guy is not your average Joe. You see, Joe Aylward wanted a new hairstyle, specifically a mohawk. More specifically, made out of stainless steel spikes that screw into your skull. Not exactly a job for your local hairstylist. As unusual as a mohawk is, Joe Aylward of Phoenix, Arizona wanted something even more riveting.
Everyone has seen hair mohawks, and I thought it would be very unique to have the first metal mohawk, but it was also about the body modification, doing an implant of a completely different style that no one else had.
Joe may be the only guy on the block to have pointy steel spikes protruding from a shaved scalp, but he's also a single parent whose lifestyle has more to do with the mundane than the extreme.
3-4 nights a week, I have my son, so I'm here, playing with him. My struggles are the same as anyone else's, keeping up with the laundry, getting the bills paid on time, getting my son to and from daycare.
Joe's mohawk is a startling example of an increasingly popular trend. People across the country are piercing, implanting, and augmenting their bodies, all in the name of fashion. But no one has taken the art of body modification this far.
Who's to say it's that extreme? 20 years ago, for a guy to have one piercing in his ear was considered very outrageous. I think in time, all judgments and perceptions change.
When dressing down, Joe can opt to take out the spikes and replace them with less obtrusive nubs.
I can change from real tall ones like I wear now to shorter ones that I wear on a more daily basis. There is a small implant in the scalp that the spike part threads into that I can thread and unthread and change anytime I want.
Joe's implant procedure took nearly 4 hours. If he ever happened to change his mind about his metal head, the implants would have to be surgically removed.
It's just an implant in the scalp. Nothing's attached to the bone. It's a very safe procedure done with sterile instruments, a sterile setting.
When Joe goes out, he threads the shiny stainless steel spikes into his head, and they magnetize people to him.
Oh my God.
Are they real? Can I touch them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes people are afraid of me just by initial appearance, but generally once I speak to them, I feel it really opens a door between me and a lot of people that never would have asked any questions.
Darling, doesn't that hurt?
Why did you do it? Gee, that has to hurt.
Can I just see?
Did they pound them in your head?
Wow.
How drunk were you when you got it done?
I want to get me some nails in my hair, too.
I've had a couple of situations where women were kind of short with me and kind of rude, and I just kind of looked at them and told them that they're just upset because I can accessorize better than them. Have a nice day.
But surely, nobody would go to such an extreme length for a fashion statement.
What is extreme right now, I guess I'm considered extreme now, probably won't be considered extreme decades from now.
Though he obviously enjoys turning heads, Joe says that his decision to get the mohawk was about his own personal satisfaction.
When I look in the mirror, I see 10 very unique, cool implants.
Sure, Joe loves his look now, but what about when he's 65?
If I reach a very ripe old age and still have the metal mohawk, it'd be looked at like, oh, one of those old timers. Did that stuff way back when. That's okay.
The population in India just passed 1 billion. That's a lot of people. And it's primarily a male-dominated society. Except, of course, for one day each year when the women have the opportunity to even the playing field, so to speak.
It's the one day a year when thousands of women pour into the streets of India with only one thing in mind: dominating their husbands by literally beating them with wooden sticks.
Lower-class women and middle-class women, they don't have a lot of rights in everyday life. Their lives are controlled by their husbands and by the men in their life. So on this one day, they get to turn the tables.
This day of chaos is called Holi and dates back 5,000 years to Hindu folklore. According to legend, mythological women revolted against a powerful male attacking him with wooden sticks. To prepare for the beatings, the young men cover their heads with protective padding and shields. As Ripley producer R.A. Mahima tells us, the groups of women can get downright unruly.
The way they tie their turban is a clear indication of how powerful and violent this can get.
Madhu Prestikhan, who has observed several holy festivals, says being on the receiving end can be a painful experience.
That heat actually really is heat. It's not like this or that. Very strongly the heat.
Despite these relentless attacks, injuries are extremely rare.
The women of Barsana stand outside the gates of their houses, waiting for these men to come who would provoke them. And as a result, these women will hit the men.
Given just one day each year to vent their frustrations, the women do not hold back. Not only do they beat their own husbands, but other men as well. In fact, all women, married or single, are invited to take part in this brutal ritual. One local citizen calls it the ultimate role reversal.
The males, the very symbol of authority and power, are now at the receiving end.
Despite its violence, Holi remains one of India's largest and most popular festivals, especially among the women.
Next, this artist is having a blast, turning sheet metal into beautiful sculptures and using plastic explosives that could blow up in her face. Plus, he's been crowned the tallest man in the world. Now he's hitting the basketball court, hoping to step into Shaq's shoes. And how this brave little hound beat all odds. The remarkable story behind Dominic, the two-legged dog, on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Stories you can't imagine, people you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Evelyn Rosenberg is an artist, inspired by her local bomb squad. Now, when her creative juices start flowing, she puts on a hard hat, earplugs, and grabs a wad of plastic explosives. Take a look.
Explosives. Throughout history, their sole purpose has been to destroy, while unleashing incredible forces. At least, that was their purpose, until Evelyn Rosenberg came along. This artist from Albuquerque, New Mexico, has harnessed the power of destruction to create extraordinary works of art.
I don't think that any other technique produces this particular look. You couldn't get it any other way.
Evelyn's art is as distinctive as it is beautiful. Her provocative images are finely textured and deeply embossed into large sheets of metal. This kind of detail would take months to hammer by hand. But using plastic explosives, Evelyn can do it in a matter of seconds.
It's sort of magic.
Evelyn is the only artist using this technique, but she did not develop it overnight. Many of her first efforts ended in failure. But Evelyn was undaunted, and after 9 months of trial and error, she finally perfected the process, something she calls detonography, a hybrid word that means exploding pictures.
First of all, I'll usually make a drawing or a model of what the piece is going to look like.
Next, she makes plaster molds, which she then takes to a professional explosive testing facility, the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology. This is Evelyn's art studio, a 32-square-mile bomb test site in the New Mexico mountains, where everything from warheads to car bombs are detonated.
I think we're also going to need some like on this edge here.
First, the molds are placed in a bed of sand. Sheet metal is then placed on top of the molds. In this case, the metal is bronze and already has intricate items like popcorn, leaves, even doilies glued to it. Meanwhile, in a reinforced cinder block building, technicians painstakingly cut and lay out strips of plastic explosives. All it takes is one spark to ignite this material.
Any explosive material do not take well to sparks, friction, heat. You have to be careful and use non-sparking materials.
The technicians wear metal straps around their ankles to divert the static electricity in their bodies away from the explosives and into the ground. Back at the test site, the temperature has risen to nearly 100 degrees. Tension mounts as the strips of explosives are cautiously laid over the now heated metal sheets. Then the detonation cord is strung. Evelyn retreats into the safety of a bunker as one technician carefully attaches the blasting caps. And now, after months of hard work and meticulous preparation, a single millisecond will determine whether Evelyn's metal sheets end up in an art gallery or a scrap heap.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Photographed in real time, the explosions look pretty tame, but there's more to this than meets the eye. We set up a high-speed camera to run at 3,000 frames per second to capture the explosion in super slow motion. Now we can see that the explosions are actually more like miniature nuclear bomb blasts. As the smoke clears, Evelyn is anxious to inspect the work. Although it's covered with debris, Evelyn is optimistic about the results.
Oh, these are good. These worked great. To anybody else looking at it, it just looks like dirty metal.
A filthy, pockmarked, worn-looking sheet of metal begins to take shape. An artwork born in an explosion is polished and nurtured into a beautiful piece of art.
It's like birth, you know, you have this very messy, dangerous, scary thing, and then you get this really beautiful object in the end.
Evelyn's work sells for up to $200,000 a pop. There's a basketball player who knows just what he'd call Shaquille O'Neal if he got a chance to meet him. Shorty. To get a sense of just how tall this guy is, take a look at his size 21 sneaker.
Most of the tallest humans in the world are crippled by their height and plagued with chronic health problems. These living giants are frequently bedridden and sentenced to a life of pain and suffering. But one of these giants has been touted as a medical miracle. Ri Young-hun is a North Korean basketball player who until recently was the tallest human on Earth. At 7 feet 9 inches, the 29-year-old is defying medical science with his agility and speed on the court.
I'm a big man. I want to test my ability. I'm not interested in money or politics. I just want to play in the NBA.
Ri Young-hun left North Korea to train for the NBA and also changed his first name to Michael. after the player he looked up to most, Michael Jordan. Actually, the 7'9" giant looks down on the 6'6" Jordan. Even Shaq is only 7'1". His coaches and teammates were stunned when they first met the towering foreigner.
This guy kind of had to bend his head down to get through like a 7-foot doorway.
My first impression of Michael was, holy cow. He's extremely tall, never seen anything quite like that, and I've been around basketball players my whole life.
Most humans of Michael's height are diagnosed as pituitary giants, the most common form of gigantism. Their size is triggered by a brain tumor that overwhelms the body with a growth hormone. Pituitary giants may look superhuman, but they suffer with health problems that could kill them.
They could have heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. They may look very strong. Some of these guys are used in movies as looking very tough, but they're actually very weak. They have arthritis, their joints are weak, so they're not as strong as they look.
Attempting to discover Michael's secret to excellent health, doctors began conducting a battery of tests.
His growth hormone levels are normal, his X-ray studies of his head and brain are normal, and he moves like somebody who's shorter. The fact that he is tall without any abnormality is rarer than if he had an abnormality and was that tall. So that's the rare of the rare, so to speak.
Michael has beaten the odds. Not only is he healthy, but he's also a world-class athlete.
He guards people out of bounds. He shuts down the whole court. I mean, it's almost impossible for somebody to see where they're going to try and pass the ball.
Sadly, once Michael was ready for the big league, he was forced to return to his homeland. Now, Michael is back with his family, where he continues to pursue his hoop dreams. His Canadian colleagues are certain of one thing: Michael will be back.
We believe Michael has a great opportunity. There are still lots of teams that would, today, we know, that would sign Michael.
He would just add a lot of value to the NBA and to basketball in general.
Still ahead.
3, 2, 1.
This high school dropout's launching a new career as a rocket scientist. And he'll strap a missile to anything that moves.
What's a better toy than a rocket-powered wheelchair?
Plus, the car you can carry around in a suitcase. And see how this high-tech robot does on the driving track. That and much more coming up on Ripley's. Enter Ripley's archive.
Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1952. Dick Wyatt and Willa McGuire are making quite a splash, water skiing on cleverly modified tabletops. Surprisingly, Willa duplicates all of Dick's moves, spinning and gliding along the surface of the water with perfect ease and grace. Raising the stakes, Dick balances on a wooden chair on top of the table. Further testing the limits of his ability to balance, Dick sets a stepladder on his longboard and meticulously climbs the rungs. Once at the top of the ladder, Dick is able to water ski higher than most would ever dare. Of course, the higher they ski, the harder they fall.
These are the unbelievable artifacts of tomorrow. It may not look like much more than a go-kart, but this amazing auto inside a suitcase features an air-cooled 2-stroke engine, a single disc brake, and reaches speeds of 30 miles an hour. It only takes 15 seconds to go from a suitcase to the street. There are only 2 of these vehicles in the world. Now, if you want to see something really amazing, watch this. Dominic is an Italian greyhound. a little-known breed of dog that can run 20 miles an hour and catch birds in mid-air. They are thought to be the first dog ever bred just for companionship. Even Cleopatra is believed to have owned one. They are a rare treasure, especially when they have only 2 legs.
Sometimes you think, oh, this is wrong, oh, I have this problem, and you think, look what he overcame, and, you know, it is inspirational.
The horrible accident that took his 2 right legs happened the day after Thanksgiving 1997. Dominic was just 4 months old when a friend of the family's accidentally struck him with his car.
He came down the driveway, and we have a kind of a long driveway, and Dominic just darted in front of him. And he couldn't help it. He's just so fast. And he really ran basically completely over him.
He was conscious, but in a lot of shock. You know, he's very shocky. It was a very, very severe accident.
In fact, Dominic had lost 50% of his blood. His right back leg was barely attached. His right front leg was crushed, and he had major internal injuries. Dominic was at death's door, but his owners, Kay and Rodney Breakabill, wouldn't give up on their pup and refused to put him to sleep.
We had come to the conclusion that if necessary, we just make him a little cart. You know, that just like a walker or a stroller for a child, where he could just get in and have some type of life. Otherwise, then we would carry him around.
But would Dominic ever walk again? With 2 legs missing from the same side, how could he? This little dog, however, would not surrender. Shocking and amazing everyone, one day after the amputation of his 2nd leg, he not only walked, he ran. Today, there's nothing this tough little hound can't do, except maybe chase his tail. He can sit, he can fetch, he can scare cats, and he can run faster than any other dog in the neighborhood. And when he gets tired, he simply finds something or someone to lean on, especially his loving owners, Kay and Rodney.
You know, we treat him as if he was a child. He's never been treated like a dog. And I hope that our love has had a big part in it.
But rest assured that Dominic is totally at home with the other animals in the family. Because in their eyes, Dominic is still a dog. 4 legs or 2. It's been 30 years since we first went to the moon, and every kid wanted to be an astronaut, including Kai Michelson. But as a high school dropout, he knew that NASA would not be knocking down his door to make his space dreams come true. So Kai went to his garage, and he came out with a rocket.
Okay, let's load her up.
Kai Michelson is obsessed with rockets. Over the last 40 years, he's built and successfully launched hundreds of homemade missiles.
On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kai is the only individual to launch a rocket an unbelievable 12 miles above the Earth. That's higher up than the Concorde flies and well into the ozone layer.
At least traditionally, NASA has needed sometimes decades or more and thousands or tens of thousands of people to develop a new launch vehicle.
All right, man, this is good.
Kai's rocket obsession began in grade school when teachers told him he wasn't smart enough to compete academically.
I struggled all the way through school. They didn't know what dyslexia was, and I had a really bad case of it back then. I had a very hard time reading, but I was always good with my hands. I mean, I'm telling you, I was a D- student all the way through school, and I got A+ in every one of my shop classes.
Kai dropped out of school in the 9th grade and made his fortune as an entrepreneur, dabbling in everything from movie stunts to makeup. With time and money to spare, Kai has dedicated himself to achieving his ultimate goal, building a real spacecraft in his own backyard.
My goal is to actually launch a rocket in outer space and bring it back, because what a trophy that would be.
But Kai doesn't just blast rockets into the atmosphere. Over the years, he's put rocket engines on everything from motorcycles to snowmobiles and more.
I put a rocket in my dragster, I put a rocket in a funny car. I've actually built rocket-powered roller skates where my son went 52 miles an hour.
This custom rocket mobile will challenge the world land speed record. And let's not forget, this flashy wheelchair holds its own on the highway.
what's a better toy for a rocket man than a rocket-powered wheelchair?
Kai's latest project is launching this 100-pound rocket. A missile like this can cost up to $25,000 to build and is strictly regulated by the Federal Aviation Administration. Kai even needed special approval to enter highly restricted airspace.
I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do just working out of a home workshop, always maintaining safety, working through the mountains of legal restrictions that would be put on him to launch to such an altitude.
My heart always starts pounding at this time. This is the most exciting part, you know, right before launches, and all your work's done, then you just sit back and enjoy the flight.
It's a picture-perfect day in the desert as the countdown begins.
3, 2, 1.
No way. That is a major malfunction. Heads up, heads up. Oh, man.
To Kai's shock and confusion, the rocket explodes on the launch pad.
Well, it's like this, I'll tell you what, the motor just went right through the rocket. We've launched a number of these, and this is the first time that this has ever happened.
Rockets are inherently dangerous. You have a small volume with a large amount of chemical energy and a very high energy density, so by its very essence there, it's a dangerous controlled substance, and it needs to be treated very cautiously.
It's back to the drawing board. 2 months later, Kai returns to the launch pad with another rocket.
These guys know that we're going to be ready like in 2 minutes.
This one equipped with a miniature camera to record every second. It's now or never for the new and improved rocket.
On the count of 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
After only a few seconds, the rocket's already climbed to more than 3,000 feet.
Beautiful! Beautiful! Perfect flight, perfect. This is what we've been waiting for. All right.
The second phase of the launch triggers the nose capsule and main section to split. The chutes deploy right on time.
Okay, there's 1, there's 2. All right, let's go. Yeah, hey, buddy! All right, jump in the back.
Kai and his team recover the rocket fully intact on the desert floor.
We had to work for that flight, I'll tell you that.
This triumphant launch is one more step in Kai's long-term goal to compete with the big boys at NASA and be the first man ever to send a privately built rocket into outer space, 50 nautical miles above Earth.
Kai also has plans for a one-man rocket so that he can launch himself into space.
Still ahead, the mini TV camera transmitting pictures from deep inside a human being. And he came face to face with 2 great white sharks and lived. How this surfer survived the jaws of death on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Witness the birth of interstate artificial intelligence. This is the digital revolution, disguised as your typical Sunday drive. Klaus is his name, and he's the first robot of his kind. Developed by Volkswagen and the Robert Bosch Group, this robo-chauffeur has been specifically designed to drive a full-sized automobile with no human assistance. Using cameras and motion sensors to work as his eyes and brain, Klaus recently passed his first driving test in his native Frankfurt, Germany, with flying colors. Receiving higher test scores than most humans, Klaus is properly equipped to burn rubber. Safely, of course.
There is now a pill-sized camera that you can swallow. Doctors can then watch a real-time video of your digestive system in action. Ripley's is the first to take you on this fantastic voyage.
Doctors at the Royal Hospital of London are taking an amazing journey into the never-before-seen recesses of the human body. Barely bigger than an aspirin, this tiny camera, nicknamed the Gut Cam, is designed to be swallowed with ease. Popping a pill and peering into a patient's body is the vision of this man, Dr. Paul Swain, a gastroenterologist.
I specialise in trying to sort out people who have stomach problems, and I do quite a lot of what's called endoscopy, so I look inside the stomach.
To see inside the digestive system, doctors now have to force a specialized camera called an endoscope either down a patient's throat or up from the other side. These images diagnose disease and save thousands of lives. But for the patient, the procedure is agonizing.
It was actually very difficult trying to push a tube down your throat.
That's it, we're nearly there.
Horrible. It's a very, very horrible situation because once you're gagging, you actually feel as though you can't breathe as well.
But the snaking camera of the endoscope can only reach so far.
There is a blind bit of the gut that we really haven't been able to examine very well with endoscope. That's a blind area and an area that it would be really good to have a new type of endoscopy that was painless for.
The Gut Cam uses miniature components that were originally developed for the military and spying.
We started, by the way, about 6 years ago working on this topic, but there was a breakthrough in about the last 2 years or so when it was possible to make very tiny cameras which were also use very, very low power levels, and so they could run on tiny batteries for quite a long time.
The tiny camera, with a lens no larger than the head of a pin, is protected within an acid-proof casing.
It's got some little white areas inside it, and those are the light-emitting diodes which put the light out. Then behind it there's the electronic imager, which is absolutely tiny and uses almost no power. And behind that, further back, you can see there are some batteries. And then we've got an absolutely tiny transmitter, probably the tiniest in the world, as well as a little aerial that you may be able to see in the back of the thing.
Before the Gut Cam is swallowed, a receiver with a video recorder is fitted onto the patient's hip.
So all you have to do is to open your mouth and swallow it. It's very easy. It's easier than an aspirin. Try it.
The incredible trip begins when the Gut Cam passes through the mouth, down the throat, and into the stomach. These images from inner space are transmitted and recorded in real time while the patient goes about their normal daily routine. That's right. Instead of spending time in agony on an operating table, the patient pops a pill, puts on a fanny pack, and walks out to enjoy the day.
It takes about 40 minutes or perhaps an hour before the capsule or food that you eat will actually go into the small bowel.
The video pill is now where no camera has ever gone before. It may not look like much, but the trained eye can detect cancer, internal bleeding, and other diseases before it's too late.
The whole time that it takes, if you swallow something, it will fall out the bottom end about 24 hours later on average.
The disposable gut camera will cost $300 once it becomes mass-produced. But for now, Dr. Swain has to recover this nifty little pill, only to be sent on another illuminating wild ride through the human body.
Enter Ripley's archive.
Robin, Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1959. A new invention bursts onto the scene. It's called the Grass Finder, and it promises to revolutionize yard work forever. This hands-free lawnmower has a mechanical feeler that steers the machine while it mows and mulches your yard. Once the outside strip of lawn has been cut, the Grass Finder can do the rest. After setting the mower to automatic, the Grass Finder feels its own way along. When the feeler reaches the grass that has already been cut, the mower turns right. Just don't leave this mower without any supervision, because when the Grass Finder finishes your yard, it may start mowing your neighbor's rose bushes. Next, the guy filming these surfers had no idea what he caught on tape until he slowed it down frame by frame. The shocking double shark attack when Ripley's returns.
There's always something new at the Ripley's warehouse, like this high-tech batting helmet. Anyone who plays baseball or even softball knows that you need to work on your swing, and that takes practice. That's where this baby comes in. You set the helmet for right or left-handed, and you take your stance. The helmet self-calibrates. Then you swing. Oh! It buzzes if you're positioned incorrectly, but when you're all lined up, the crowd responds. So, by practicing with this gadget, your motor memory is reinforced and you'll soon never hear this again. You can watch this while I keep practicing. It's every surfer's worst nightmare. Paddling out to catch a wave, only to be attacked by a great white shark. That's exactly what happened to 15-year-old Shannon Ainsley.
Well, I was paddling for a wave, and then all of a sudden I felt myself lift up a little bit. And then the next minute I'm underneath the water, looking at the shark face to face.
Ironically, Shannon was deathly afraid of the water before he began surfing 2 years ago. Today, this South African teen is the incredible survivor of an encounter with the ocean's most lethal predator. The waters along South Africa's eastern coast makes for some of the world's best surfing and deadliest. Ferocious great white sharks of up to 20 feet long stalk the area looking for seals to eat. The surfers and swimmers here know that anytime they go into the water, a shark might mistake them for its next meal. Despite 3 recent fatalities and shark sightings earlier that very day, the waves were too good for Shannon and his friends to pass up. What they thought would be an epic day of surfing instead turned to horror. A tourist on the shore inadvertently captured the moment of the shark attack on his camera. Slow motion playback reveals every terrifying moment, frame by frame. Just as Shannon takes off on a wave, a 12-foot great white attacks from below. The unsuspecting teenager flips into the air as the powerful beast clamps down on the surfboard. Further review of this unbelievable footage also reveals just how lucky the young surfer was. Not 1, but 2 sharks can be seen stalking Shannon.
I didn't know if it was a dream or if it was real, so I never felt any pain.
Shannon lands on the shark's razor-sharp teeth. Stunned and bleeding, Shannon somehow manages to get back on his board. He was afraid the shark would come back or that he would go into shock and pass out in the water.
Straight away, I prayed to God and I asked him to please keep me safe. So I was really scared that the shark would come back for me.
But pure fear enables Shannon to begin paddling back ashore. Despite man-eating sharks in the water, the other surfers risk their lives to make sure that Shannon makes it back to the beach safely.
This finger here was cut right open like that, and my bone is stuck out like that, and my skin was hanging right up to here. And all my tendons over here, here, and over here, and over here were cut. And I can't straighten it, so I can only do that, and I can't close the fist either.
I was horrified. I was shocked. The first thing I said when I saw it was thank God that God was there to look after him, because he should have been dead. He shouldn't have been with us today.
After the attack, Shannon's childhood fear of the water returned. But just 1 month later, the call of the waves proved stronger than his phobia. Ripley's was there when Shannon got back in the water for the first time and attempted to ride the very same waves that nearly cost him his life.
I feel a bit nervous, but I'm really looking forward to it. But I've been thinking that maybe a shark will attack me. I just hope it doesn't.
Flashbacks of the horrific accident ran through his mind as he paddled out to sea.
As soon as I hit the water, I was pretty scared. And I was looking around quite a bit.
Shannon could only stay in the water for half an hour, but he promised himself that he would return the next day. While it's unbelievable that Shannon managed to overcome his fear and venture back into the ocean, he will always be haunted by what might be lurking beneath it.
Next, experts were baffled when they found this healthy-looking grizzly bear dead in the forest. Then they examined its insides and were shocked by what they discovered in its stomach. You'll be amazed at what killed this carnivore when we take a trip deep into the Ripley vault next. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This 6-foot grizzly bear, nearly 800 pounds of claws and jaws, was found dead of unnatural causes. Grizzlies are an endangered species, and despite their size and protected status, they're still threatened by humans. When park rangers tried to determine the cause of this guy's death, they checked the contents of his stomach and found that this magnificent animal had been killed by something as deadly as any hunter's bullet: garbage left behind by careless campers. Let's see. First item here, a half-chewed Frisbee, a tube of adhesive, cap still on, pipe, pair of pantyhose, dog collar. Then there's a medicine bottle, fishing lures, a plastic baby doll head, bullet shells, a leather knife case, a compass, and yeah, a set of dentures. Unbelievable? Believe it.